Shanghai, once a hub for traditional Chinese martial arts, is now connecting to the world. Historical European martial art meets Chinese traditional martial arts here, learning from one another. Historical medieval battles become a sport fueled by passion. Now, let's get Kung Fu wise. Along this 1.5-kilometer stretch, there are 52 buildings in Gothic, Baroque, and other different styles, and most of them are over 100 years old. This is a reminder how this city started this path towards globalization over a century ago. This is Shanghai, one of the top-tier cities in the entire world, and also my second home. Being right at the mouth of the Yangtze River, and after its opening as a trading port in 1843, Shanghai became part of the global economy, and its growth shows how much China has been connected to the rest of the world. Martial arts here also evolved and pick up on the global influences, so I'm really curious to see how it changed, and I want to explore more. Oh, it's here. Today I'm going to visit a martial art with a long history and strong tradition, tracing back directly to Europe. And it's so awesome to see so many Chinese getting into it nowadays. And we are going to visit Master Yuan, which is one of the first to get deep into it. Yuan Wenyan, head of the Shanghai Yunson Martial Art Research Association, has been practicing HEMA for over 10 years. Master Yuan.
Hi, Kleber.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you here.
Hey, nice to see you.
Wow, so what are you guys practicing nowadays?
We are practicing Longsword today.
Okay, cool, cool. So you have two different weapons, like two different styles, or?
We use same weapon, but we different style. He is German style, and I am Italian style.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you are Italian.
Cool, cool. So what are the differences like between the two approaches?
He used German type by heavy cut. I use short point.
Short points. Yeah.
Short point.
So why did you choose the Italian approach?
He is bigger than me. I must defending. I use Italian longsword by keep distance from my enemy. If he attack and I'm attack too,
Enemy. Yes,
I will die.
Yes. He's taller, he has more reach, he's stronger. Yes. So let's say like that the German use a lot of kind of like swings motion, but the Italian use more kind of like stabbing.
Stabbing
kind of
and keep distance, defending. Let's some practicing.
So you see, in Italian tradition, we have those kind of 4 basic positions. So this is the first one, the second one, which is towards the side. Then we have the third one, which is through the center. And then we have the fourth one, which is on the other side. So in this way, I can protect all the circle, so that when he's going to attack, I will defend and attack in the same motion. Super cool, love that. Very similar to actually Wing Chun. That's what I love about it. Yeah. Italian fencing had an everlasting influence over modern practices, especially on the rapier and the short sword, and it went on to influence and evolve into the modern fences that we have nowadays. Wow. It is so interesting to me to see the different development of those blades from the medieval time to the modern time, basically. In the beginning, you know, because people were basically having like very big shields for protection, and they were using like much lighter and shorter swords, one-handed, so they can protect themselves and then stab from behind the shield. But then because technology and start to advance, so they can build up like more armors to protect themselves, and they start to develop those kind of like two-handed swords. That is why they needed a lot of power to smash through those metal armors. You see that the tip is much thinner because you need to penetrate, and you can compare the two different ones. Here you see the blade is kind of like rounded up for safety, so whenever it pop in, it's not gonna hurt.
In 18th century, we have the small sword because dual culture is development in court.
That is the point, because as time passing, those type of weapons were not developed to kill each other, but it was all about winning. In modern fencing, they're using those three different type of swords. So with the rapier, so you can target all the body. When you got the small sword, actually you can only use the upper part, and the same with the saber. You can only use the upper part, but you can also use those kind of swinging motions. So modern fencing is really kind of like developed in a quite different direction, but very interesting and very fun to play.
Wow, what are you doing?
I'm watching Chinese martial arts. All this is technique about using 长刀 in 17th century, like this. Very different from European longsword.
Yes. And you also have so many documents about this Western, all the, German, Italian documents.
Yeah. This is Zweihau. In Germany, longsword, we call it helicopter.
Helicopter.
Yes. Helicopter, yes, helicopter.
We're kind of on the opposite side, because I'm a European looking more into Chinese martial art, and you are a Chinese person who's looking more into the medieval European. So it's kind of like bridging in between those two cultures. I think is incredibly important. Yeah.
Yes. Let us go to see some practice.
Cool. Looking forward.
This is Ming Dynasty clothes. Wow. In our practicing, we need to wear this. Okay. 好的，那么今天我们先大家互相行礼啊，好，抱拳啊，好，那么下面我们先做一些基本的热身动作。First， 到这个位置，第一步 ，1 啊 ，2， 3， 来1、2、3、4。下面我们就有请张健老师给我们带来一个实战技巧的讲座。
形意的拳、刀、枪是最接近这个中国古战场的。形意格斗式有一个专有名称，叫三体式。你先这样站好，然后脚转过来，脚伸出去，刀尖朝着对方眼睛。然后，如果你是古代战场，你是着盔甲的，对方如果刺过来的话，你都可以不做大动作的防御，稍微闪一下，刀就划过去了。举个例子啊，你做个就是这样的假动作，假动作一过来，马上你要冲上去，就你不能往后退。
From this training, it's clear to see how they got inspired by the HEMA training while substituting European longsword with Chinese blades in order to maintain this combat spirit and principle into this approach.
大家知道，形意这个枪和刀劈法是不一样的，枪太长，特别大枪很长，而且它惯性很大，你很难控制。所以劈枪其实动作很小的，但是它力动呢靠前冲，明白吧？靠步伐前冲。 这个枪是在这里边，看到吧？然后枪尖朝上，大，借脚的力量。我们中国武术讲什么？劲从脚起，你的力量应该是从脚出来。Follow me, 1, 2, 1, 2， 哎耶 ，1, 2, 1, 2， 很好。
After experiencing the HEMA practice and discussing with teacher Yuan about those ancient manuscripts, it's fascinating to see how those ancient practices, once meant for life and death situation, were revived and reshaped into a modern combat system. It feels like a bridge that connects different eras and cultures. And it's a reminder that history is not just something we talk about. It's something that we can bring back to life and learn from even after centuries. Miserere, misero man, però brindo alla vita. Those Western architectures all around the city are telling a story of how the past is influencing the present of this multicultural city. It's a unique blend between old and new, West and East, coming together. And to me, those places always felt very special because they reminded me of places where I grew up back in Europe when I was a kid. So when I came here in Shanghai, I had to move into one of these beautiful old Shanghainese lane houses. So in the beginning for me, it was a little bit difficult as an Italian to find decent coffee because it was not really a major thing here in Shanghai 12 years ago. But slowly I could see how the coffee culture really influences here, showing also this kind of special blend between West and East. And nowadays you can find so many coffee shops. Actually, I believe that Shanghai is the city in the world with the most coffee shops. And here we are in front of Buhurt Mansion, a landmark built over 100 years ago, and it's one of the first building apartments built in Shanghai. And as you can see, so many people come here every day to experience its beauty. Since I'm here in Shanghai, I really need to go to visit the school of one of the most popular masters here in China. His name is Master Battaglia, and he's a foreigner who's been teaching here over 15 years. So I really need to check out what he's doing. Wow. Look at this motion, so fluid, and wow, this is really the master I was looking for. And I must admit, he's incredibly handsome. And then lift it a little bit, yeah?
Yes,
so there is this...
go back a little bit, yes. Good.
Bai Sifu truly loved Chinese culture. He's learning Chinese and calligraphy through his wife, and together they're translating some of those old KungFu books to bring back some of those principles to Europe. And his wife, not disrespect, but is truly my type. So I'm here with Sifu Paolo Chilelli, which is the school partner of Master Battaglia. They run together the Absolute Kung Fu in Shanghai. So let's dig out a little bit. How are things going here?
Nice question. Honestly, really, he opened the school, and I take part in this project later. When from Wing Chun become we want to expand this idea really something else. You have not only one style, but all the Kung Fu is a family. And Shanghai is a place where also the foreigner can come here and teach Kung Fu.
Wow.
Yeah. But if you imagine, it's also the place where there is a lot of Chinese and the pizza school. So why not? The best Kung Fu.
Also coffee is pretty good.
Oh, of course, yes, the coffee. Yeah.
It's very multicultural.
Yes, very multicultural.
A lot of opportunities.
Exactly. So this is the power of Shanghai. Let me show all the activities that we are at the school. Really easy here.
So now I transform from the host, Kleber Battaglia, to Bai Sifu. This is called 6-12, like a clock. You need to replace the punch. One goes into 6, the other one goes into 12. 6 to 12. You see this cycle? So in the moment that I'm reaching out, the punch is both protecting going under, but at the same time, when it comes above, it is also protecting on top. So the punch has to go and keep the pressure through the person.
When I first met him back in 2011,
I was curious about how a foreigner Italian can teach Kung Fu here in China.
Longsword is more focused on the practical things. So the things that are more useful and that can actually be used in the real combat.
He can translate those mysterious kind of concepts into a modern, like very easy to understand way.
For me, Shanghai will always have a very special place into my heart because I came here 12 years ago, but the first 2 years were pretty tough because I was quite isolated. I didn't know anybody. But luckily, after 2 years, I moved in Chanlelu, in the center of Shanghai. It's a really beautiful area with a lot of like trees and so many places that I discovered, and I met so many people. And especially I met other people doing other type of Kung Fu. And the place I was staying, it became a kind of a hub. And finally, we start to call it Battalia's Hostel, because all those different masters came over, stay at my place, and we compare, discuss different martial arts. And I will always have fond memories of that place. Not far from Shanghai, there are ancient water towns that bring me back in time, a time of ancient heroes, wuxia novels, and warriors using cold weapons in the battlefield. Buhurt is a German term that refers to a modern sport combat that utilizes those medieval armors to fight against each other. They use shields, swords, hammer. It's honestly quite brutal. And today I'm gonna meet one of the organizers and the best players here, and one of these guys is named Kuma. So let's go to meet him. Oh yes, I hear this sound. Hey, Kuma.
Yeah, bye. Hey, my friend.
Good morning. Xu Guoji, known as Kuma, has been competing in armored combat for 8 years and is one of the first athletes in China to take up the sport.
对，今天我们是双休日，我们训练，后面还有好多选手来，带你看。
嗨，你好，你好，嗨，你好。
对，白师傅，白师傅。哇！我们在这里有一个活动，要全甲格斗，等会儿还要上场打呢，还要。这哥们儿已经穿完了，你看一下，头盔一戴就能直接我们就能上场了。
Ah, this is crazy! 哇！
戴好，这个就叫黑虎。你看一下这套，哇！这套是我们中国明朝时候的
Ming Dynasty， 哇！
明朝的盔甲。然后这套给你穿，30公斤。
哇 ，like 1/3 of my weight， 哇！
都是钢的。
It makes you feel invincible inside these things. In order to wear those kind of armors, you need to be really, really strong. Yeah. Okay, to protect my heart. Ah, where's my weapon?
Yes! Seriously? OK， 给拿把刀吧。Yeah.
All right. This isn't an ancient battlefield. This is a modern sport called historical medieval battlefield, better known by German name Buhurt, where the fighters go head-to-head into close combat wearing full protective armor.
说一下基本的原理就是脚压在前，然后重心靠前，人要轻出去，人轻出去，对，然后盾牌不要横着，横着会把自己视线给遮住，这个时候这样。 这样眼睛就能看出去了。
然后啊，可以。
哎耶，耶，
给大家演示一下就知道了。
耶 ，Ready, fine, yeah, yeah， 收紧收紧，盾牌收紧，不要伸出去。Quickly, quickly. Higher.
Higher.
Ah, very tired. Ready. Fight.
You see, this is the way that in reality they would use the weapon back then, because we watch too many movies like people swinging sword at each other, but this is the real way that they were going to use it. You know, in Kung Fu we always say that first comes bravery, then we have strength, and only third we have techniques. They truly managed to embrace those fighting spirits of ancient times. Those guys are fierce and brave, and I love their slogan because it says, keep the war into the gaming's fans. So those guys might be there going at each other for 1 minute, but after that, they all go drinking together because their bond just gets stronger. That is the fighting spirit. Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Fight! Those guys really go at each other. It's incredible the amount of power they put into it. Wow. Wow. Yeah. This is your studio. Wow, so nice. So, how did you start to make those armors?
那个时候是在2016年 ，HMB 邀我们去参加会议，然后那个会议就在米兰。
哇，米兰，
对
Italy，
对，从零研发制作5个月时间要做出来。
哇 ，also very short time。
然后我们当初找的资料是我们的出京入壁图找到的这个明边军甲，然后盔甲它只是表面，我们是找到了好多考古资料，确认了里面的盔甲片的布局和大小，有了表面，然后我现在也知道里面，对，然后我们就开始制作。
Wow, it's pretty unbelievable that they started to create out of nowhere, and it was the first time that they showed to the world this Chinese design. They won the gold for a competition, which is incredibly amazing. This is the full process. They have a full piece of metal, then they draw the outline they want with the size and the different kind of holes, and then they use a special machine to cut it, and they will shape it, slowly hammering it.
你这身是在你的老家罗马早期共和时代穿的，整体全部是以青铜为主，然后罗马时代在我们的中国是汉朝时，这是我们汉朝就一个亲王的甲，然后您看它这身就是中国这个时候已经是全面的铁制化了，整体胸口这一块它是一片和一片叠在一起，整体保护住了你的
主体内脏。
Wow, this is beautiful. The technology really developed because of the way that the back is shaped, because of the bones also, they have to interlace it in a different way. 这个是什么？
这是我们的标准的就比赛赛用款的了。这件是已经是标准欧洲的14世纪、15世纪已经开始主流型的板甲衣了。在古代的时候是刀刺。 我们的整场比赛是我们的比赛不允许刺，因为刺太危险，所以我们的盔甲是强化了对劈砍的防御。
You see, this is all metal on the inside.
But on the outside is all fulcrum. You see, also because of the rules of the modern sport, you see that is another example of how the armors need to adapt to the time, to the type of weapon, but also to the game's rules. Near Kuma Training Center, there is this water town called Wuyuan. This place really reminds me of Venice, but with a typical Eastern flavor. This type of water town environment truly brings me back to my origin of Wing Chun, because those small boats, those alleys, truly work effectively for small motion like Wing Chun or Southern Kung Fu. But when it comes to Buhurt, you need really wide motion, and it's more suitable for those kind of like battlefield arenas or modern sport combats. So I'm about to join a cold weapon combat game, wearing a gear and a specially designed sword, spear, shield, and bow. The players are going to choose a role and join up into a team and play some battlefield action. And the main goal is to basically get those yellow cones and push it towards my team side. I can tell that's not going to be really easy to do it. Pretty cool, I love the tiger. Come on. Oos. Oh wow, that was pretty intense, but super fun, actually really fun. Didn't expect that. And you know, it's really good to play in a team and experience those kind of like differences you can use with a shield, with a sword, and it's really entertaining. Martial arts began as a military skill for the battlefield in warfare. But then, as history moved forward and the world evolved, so did the martial arts. Nowadays, no matter in the East or the West, they are a tool used for self-defense, sport combat, or entertainment. And this journey back to Shanghai for me was truly important because it reminded me why I fell in love with martial arts in the first place, for the endless possibilities, its fighting spirits, and the way it constantly evolves, always offering something new to be discovered.